Have you ever had a style crisis or an identity crisis? Maybe you're having one right now. Well, if you are, don't worry, they're completely normal, and I think they can be a good thing. And if you don't know what I mean when I say style crisis, then it's basically when you're uncertain or confused about your personal style and your fashion choices. They can make you feel lost and unsure which direction you want to take your style in, and they can be frustrating. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what causes a style crisis, what you can do when you're in one, and what we can learn from them. If you like this video at any point, please do leave it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's have a style crisis. So what causes a style crisis? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is trends. Now, I'm not saying trends are all negative because they're definitely not. They can help you find your personal style and help develop it as well. So not all negative, but they do have their negatives. For example, they can pressure you into wearing what's popular and stop you wearing what you like and feel yourself in. And the more you chase them, the more likely you are to lose touch with the styles that show off your own personality and tastes. And this can make you feel disconnected from your style and leave you feeling like you don't know how to dress in a way that feels authentic to you. But on the other hand, if you don't follow trends, then you can start questioning whether your style is any good or not. If everyone around you is loving certain items and certain styles and your style isn't one of those styles, then you might start to think, what's wrong with it? And this has happened to me so many times before. I've bought a new item of clothing, I've showed it to my family, my friends, and posted a picture of it online, and it's got some negative feedback. And the more negative comments you get about that item of clothing, the more you start to look at it in a negative way, especially when people are saying what you've bought is absolutely disgusting and it's making them feel violently ill. But it definitely makes you feel less confident in that item, and it might make you stop wearing that item altogether. It's far easier to jump on trends because you're going to get a lot more praise that way. You're going to feel a lot more confident in what you're wearing if you're getting a lot of praise about what you're wearing. But by doing this, you lose what makes you you and your style your own. But it's also pointless listening to other people's negative comments about what you're wearing, because what they're wearing now, they were probably slagging off a few years ago. Let's take Birkenstock Bostons for example. If you were to walk down the street in a pair of Birkenstock Bostons, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago, you get some really funny looks from people, and people would probably be a bit disgusted with what you were wearing. You might even get people throwing shady comments at you like, didn't have time to get dressed this morning, out in your slippers are you, or other similar very hurtful and offensive things like that. But these days, if you walk down the street in the exact same shoe that people were slagging off years ago, then no one would bat an eyelid. You might even get comments like, looking fly my guy. But the shoe hasn't changed at all, it's just people's perception of the shoe that's changed. And that's why you shouldn't pay any attention to what other people say, because people are fickle. I remember when I was back in school, if you were to turn up in a pair of New Balances to PE, you would get ripped for wearing them. And these days you get ripped if you don't wear them. And if everyone started wearing, I don't know, the Puma Army Trainer, and Bella Hadid had a pair and ASAP Rocky started wearing them, then everyone would want to wear them, even though they're sat on the shelves collecting dust at the moment. They're a great shoe, by the way. And the chances are whatever you're wearing now that isn't trending will be trending at some point in the future. So it's pointless worrying about whether you're in style or not. In my opinion, you can't be out of style if you're doing you. And another reason you might be having a style crisis is because you're doing too much impulse buying. If you're impulse buying, try and stop it please, but I'll tell you why. Now, I used to be really bad with this in the past, and I still do it sometimes today, but not as much. But impulse buying is basically when you see something you think you like, and you buy it right there on the spot without thinking about how it's going to work for you, or work with the other pieces in your wardrobe. And if you keep doing this, you'll end up with a wardrobe full of clothing that doesn't work well together, and you'll have a hard time putting together outfits. And this can leave you feeling really frustrated with what you've got, and you can't figure out why you've got a wardrobe full of clothes, but you never have anything to wear. Well, this is probably why. And also, boredom can cause a style crisis. I'm sure you're not dressing the same as you were 6 or 7 years ago, and if you are, then 12 years ago, and it's completely normal to change. The problem is, when we're so used to dressing a certain way, it can be hard to make that change, even if you want to. So for example, if you've worn skinny fits most of your life, then it's going to be hard to move away from that. And my advice would be to take small steps away from it rather than jumping into a new style straight away. So if your end goal is to wear wide fit jeans, then don't just wear a pair of wide fit jeans straight away. Wear a pair of slim fit first and then go from there. If you go from skinny jeans to wearing a wide fit pair of jeans straight away, you're probably not going to like the look of it because you're not used to seeing yourself in that style of clothing. So it might put you off ever trying that style again in the future. longer. And that style could have been the one that works well for you. But another thing that can happen is when you get bored of a style and you try something new, it can actually make you appreciate the style that you got bored of again. And this is actually what happened to me recently. Sometimes when you wear the same style of clothing for a long time, you get bored of it, and that's really normal as well. And sometimes all you need to do is try a new style for a bit. Either you'll like that new style and you'll go off in a new direction, but sometimes trying a new thing out can make you appreciate your old style more again. So if you feel like you're at a crossroads or you're bored of your style at the moment, then try something new for a bit. There's nothing stopping you. Also, changes in your body can make you have a style crisis. Maybe you lost some weight or you put on some weight and now none of your old clothing or your old styles fit you well. This can leave you feeling pretty lost and pretty frustrated, and this actually happened to me recently. About a year ago now, I weighed about 72 kilograms and all my clothing fit me perfectly. But now I'm an absolute machine, an absolute monster, and I'm giving Chris Bumstead a run for his money, coming in at 83 kilograms. And Chris, if you're watching this, then I'll see you on stage very soon. But yeah, basically I got a little bit more muscly and my thighs became a bit of a problem area for me. The trousers I used to wear, they still fit me well in the waist, but my thighs just don't fit into them anymore. So I've got to find new styles that work well for me, and it can be frustrating. But I've lost weight before, I've put on weight before, and you do get used to your new size. It can just take a little bit of time finding new styles that work well for you. Age is another one that causes a style crisis, and unless you're Edward Cullen from Twilight, then you are getting older. But as we get older, we can quite often question what we're wearing, if we're too old to wear something, and it can have a huge impact on our style. Am I too old to wear cargo trousers? Am I too old to wear relaxed fits? Am I too old to have a YouTube channel where I talk about fashion? These are all things that I've questioned myself on, and even though they're ridiculous, they do have an impact on the way I think. The thing is, you can allow your age to stop you wearing things you enjoy wearing throughout your entire life, and it doesn't do anyone any good. I remember when I was 18 years old, I really wanted to dye my hair, but I thought I was too old and I should have done it when I was 16, when I was younger. When I turned 20, I thought I should have done it when I was 18. I was young then, but now I'm 20, I'm old. I'm too old to dye my hair. And the same thing happened at 25, and in the end, I never ended up doing it. Now these days, I don't want to dye my hair, but that's beside the point. Now I look back at all those ages where I thought I was too old to do it, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. If you want to wear something, then now is the youngest you'll ever be, so now's the best time to do it. If you've got a mindset where you're always worried about your age and if you can wear something at your age, then you'll always have that mindset until the day you die. I've had it throughout my entire life, and I'm trying hard to get out of that mindset. I think most of the time when people are seen as wearing things that are too young for them, it's because they're styling them absolutely terribly. I think if you style something well, then it doesn't matter what age you are, you've styled it well. Like look at these two for example. The things they're wearing, people would say they're too old to wear these things, but I think they look great in them. So why do I think a style crisis is very much needed and actually a good thing? Well, they can create an opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. They can give you the inspiration that you need to try new things out, and if you find something new that works well for you, then it can give you a massive boost in confidence. They can also help you get back on track if you're feeling lost with your current style. And they can improve your shopping habits and get you thinking more about your purchases going forward. And if you can think of any positives that are caused by a style crisis, then do let us know in the comments. But if you like this video or it helped you out, please do leave it a like. If you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you later.